So the first night that they had the new in-school learning, we got home from Vegas the night before late.
Okay.
And so we were kind of in a rush on their first day of school, but not so bad. And then yesterday they already missed their second day of school because we had a physical. So last night, so I'm like, I want to have everything done at night. The shower's done, the clothes out, the lunch is done, everything. So we get up in the morning, I'm working, and they could just do all their stuff together, and go. Last night, the cat got out. So that swayed our night for last night because we were out all night looking for it. So this morning was bananas. Yelling, brush your teeth, put your deodorant on, brush your hair, blah, blah, blah. And then all the way to school, I'm like, we'll get it together. Mommy, sorry. It's as much my fault as it is yours, but.
Yeah. You know what? We all have those mornings, right?
Layla, that girl, man.
I can't believe how big she's gotten, how grown up she's gotten. I'm not ready for that. I like that needs to just go ahead and not happen.
Get out of here, cat. You already ruined my night. Can you hear that cat?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's up with your hat?
You like this?
Yeah.
This is my, where's the bee?
Oh, look, we have two from Tasmania on here today. Hi, Nathan.
We do. Hey, Nathan. Hey, by the way, Nathan, I've got all your stuff in a box. The one thing you'll learn about me, Nathan, is I move slow. I've got all the stuff I'm sending you into a box. That was step 1. Step 2 is taking it to the post office. Check back with me sometime in November.
You should get it.
No, when we went to New York this last time around, we were walking around Times Square super early in the morning. We had to be somewhere at like 7:30 in the morning. And so have you walked downtown Times Square, all that stuff before?
No.
Okay.
We were supposed to go to New York during the summer, but everything was shut down, so we didn't go.
Okay. In New York, there's like small business thrives in New York because all these little tiny one-off like souvenir stores are just, just people just owning little shops. So this was like $4 in one of the little stores. And then I also got a matching scarf that I can't find. And I walked around New York.
Did Michelle find it, or did Michelle find it and did it find its way into a dumpster somewhere?
Like both are possible, I'm not going to rule out either one.
I mean, she let you keep that beanie.
She did. Well, I don't think so. The beanie was actually in a box.
Fan until you read it closer.
It looks like I'm a Broncos fan.
Yeah. Is it orange and blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the New York Knicks. So.
Oh, is that basketball?
Well, yeah. And then this beanie is like quintessential stereotypical New York tourist. Is these colors.
I love beanies with a pom-pom on the top.
I do too.
They're my favorite.
And so we took a tour of Madison Square Garden the same day that I got this beanie. And so the whole time we were in there, I just kept going, I love New York Knicks! I love New York Knicks! I love New York Knicks!
Poor Michelle.
And the guy that was doing the tour was getting so annoyed with me. And he's like, yeah, the Knicks are a good team. I'm a Rangers fan, so we're going to talk a lot about the New York Rangers on this trip. And the whole time, but I love the Knicks.
Poor Michelle, dude. What's wrong with you?
So the people that we were with were having a good time. Can I say real quick that they have a video portion when you're doing the Madison Square Garden tour where you put on like these glasses and headphones and get like a little 3D tour. And for it being in downtown New York, in the #1 media market in the world, billions of dollars, what is it with every single tourist thing that you go to? If you have to watch a video, the video quality is crap every time. Every time. It's like we're watching those old reel-to-reel videos in class where you're just waiting for that like bing, and then you change the slide,
I don't know. You would think, right?
Oh man, it's awful. And kids will never know. Kids nowadays will never know. But there was a brief period when you and I were in school, right around between like kindergarten up until about 7th grade.
Oh, I already know what you're going to bring up. Bring it up. I'm going to look it up on the thing.
Well, I was going to say reel-to-reel movies in class.
I was going to do that.
What were you going to say?
Remember the TV that would be strapped to the black cart, and they
if you didn't have
the whole cart out?
Yes. Yes. And you had to, there was always somebody designated that had to go get the TV from the MP room.
Yes.
And when we didn't have the TV strapped to the cart, we had reel-to-reel videos that our older teachers used because, and I never thought about this, but in 6th grade, which was 1991, my teacher was in his 70s, which means he was born in the 20s, which means his wheelhouse when he was killing it in life was the 40s.
Yeah.
So a VCR was difficult for him, but a reel-to-reel video where you also push play on the cassette recorder to sync up the audio with the video was like nothing to him. It was like, that was just like a Tuesday night. But putting a VHS in and hitting play was like, whoa. Yes.
Remember? You knew, like in elementary school, you knew it was going to come out and be like, it's reading rainbow.
Or when you got a movie day. Did you guys do anything to earn movies?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What was the movie that got shut down? My freshman year, Ace Ventura. They put that on in summer school, and the principal came in, and it was right in the middle of this guy just going on a cussing tirade, but it was like the only cussing tirade in the whole movie. And he came in at that point. He's like, "Nope, shut it down."
Yep. Yep. You know that cart rolled in was going to be a chill class.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we didn't.
That's how my kids' class has been the last 6 months with that TV.
We didn't know it then, but that just meant that Mrs. Smith had too much wine the night before.
Isn't that the truth? Man, I love when that thing came out. That's hilarious.
I finally put 1 and 1 together to make 2 when I saw Mr. Danforth at the Chevys the night before throwing back margaritas on a date. And then the next day in English, we were watching Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, remember the part in Mean Girls where they were saying like it's so odd to see a teacher out doing normal things when Tina Fey's like in the mall?
Yeah.
That's what I think because I go back, I'm not going to even say his name because we were so rough on him and he's still alive and well in Manteca. But we would always be terrible to this one teacher because there was always rumors that he would put whiskey in his coffee cup. And now I'm like, yeah, we were terrible.
Right.
Let the dude have his whiskey.
Isn't it funny that like growing up, the rumors were always like, oh, I think Mr. Petrovich is drinking in class. I'll bet he is. And like that's scandalous as teenagers, but now as adults, we're like, well, yeah. I mean, you get why, right?
I had one that everybody said that about, and I was just his TA. He let me do it. I would leave and come back at the end of class. He didn't care. He loved me.
Right.
I see him literally at every if we are at an Oktoberfest or a wine, he's like, hey, Madden. I'm like, oh my God, it's you again.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
When I was in Germany, they had a smoking section at the high school. And so between classes, because there was like 20 minutes between every class.
Oh, you were in Germany. Okay.
So between classes, and back when I smoked cigarettes, between classes, all the students, like 20, 30, 40, 50 of them would all go on the back patio and smoke cigarettes with the teachers and then go back in for class. It was so weird.
Even with the smoking, you can't even hang out with the teacher like that.
No. I mean, don't smoke. But
remember, since we're talking about teachers, and I'm so mad at this, and I can't believe, remember all the problems that Layla was having last year with the school, and I was having all those problems with her teacher. She told me Layla loves her teachers. It's a thing for her. And I think that's why she has liked distance learning so much, is because she could just zoom in on the teacher and the teacher will meet with her every day after class if she wants. I find out that, I don't know how your kid's classroom works, but kids do well. They get like a ticket or a point or a star. You get to choose something. Twice last year, Layla chose lunch with my teacher, and that teacher ditched her both times. I swear, if my kid was still going to that school right now, I would lose it. And the reason I found this out, because we were talking about the teachers that they missed, and she said a substitute for her last teacher. And I said, why the substitute? And she said, because he would always make it up when he would find out that she wouldn't meet me on my one-on-one teacher days. And I'm like, what one-on-one teacher days? She would
That's
just leave.
messed
The
up.
woman would be sitting in the class with her lunch, sitting there by herself.
That's messed up.
Dude, I'm so glad my kid's not going to that. Oh, I would if I had to see that woman. I had so many problems with her.
Doesn't everybody have like one or two teachers over the course of their kid's life where it's like, if I could just reach through the screen right now, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh,
We
I'm
had
sure.
for
And
my for
I love educators. Like I'm a big, huge advocate, and I can
yeah,
tell you which ones mentored that I still remember to this day. But that one, she shouldn't have been. There's some that just shouldn't be in the business.
right, right. We had an older one when my kids were in preschool. The first preschool we went to, preschools make a huge difference. Boy, did we swing and miss on our first one.
I still talk to one of the Joey's teachers almost every day on social media from his preschool.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our first one, the teacher would take the frosting off of our children's cupcakes on Cupcake Day, and she would tell us too. I took the frosting off because they're so hyper that I figured that with everything going on, and we would look at her and be like, okay, so you're singling out a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they're the two kids in class not having frosting on their cupcake because they're too hyper for you. But you're not calling us and letting us know that we need to come get them because they're an issue. You're just not giving them frosting. You're a jerk.
I can't even breathe right now.
Right.
It's not even about the freaking frosting.
Right.
How
right.
dare you? Not even my permission.
Right.
Nope.
So I mentioned her on the air before a few years ago.
Does the cupcake not have 3 cups of sugar in it already?
Right, exactly. So I mentioned this on the air like 3 years ago. I don't like the school. I don't like this woman. And she ran into my mother-in-law at a grocery store.
Not the Magnolia preschool. That's the one that saved him, and he loves his kids.
Oh yeah, no, Magnolia preschool was legit.
When you hear Ian Riley talking about Magnolia preschool, these are the ones who saved him from the other situation.
Magnolia preschool is legit. Yeah. This other preschool, not legit. And the woman that would scrape the cupcake off my kids, or the frosting off the kids' cupcake, saw my mother-in-law at a grocery store a few years later, and she goes, "You may not remember me. I'm teacher so-and-so. I had your grandkids." She goes, "Oh yeah." And she goes, "I don't like your son-in-law." And she goes, "Well,
what's wrong with people?"
And she goes, "Well, I don't think he likes you either."
Good.
She goes, "No, I've heard about it." And she goes, "Well, good. Then he's letting the right people know."
Dude, somebody rolled into my mom and was like, "I was the one who took the frosting off your grandkids' cupcakes." Mom and Dad will lay her out.
Right. Like, let me highlight. I'm frosting lady. Okay, so you're the jerk? Cool.
Yeah.
Just so we know who the jerk is in the room.
You know the biggest problem besides all of it with that is that she thinks that she still thinks that what she did was fine. Right.
Like to this day, if she ever thinks back, she's probably like, I don't think they understand the frosting was the difference maker. like if my children ever become millionaires, she will be the one that's there saying, they only have this money because I took the frosting off the cupcake, right? Like this goes back 35 years to when I made
with her that those little turds even made it in life.
Exactly. Thank you, frosting lady.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And we have all the parenting books.
I'm going to send you guys a box of Christmas presents, and I'm just going to put 2 containers of frosting in there and spoons. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know what? It'll make up for all the frosting they didn't get to have.
We'll put them next to all the parenting books where we glossed over the part that said, "Don't give your kid frosting." Stupid
That's the part I read that said, "Don't let your cat outside" from last night. Really? Okay, thanks. Don't let my cat roam in the forest with coyotes at night. Okay, thanks. I meant to do that.
This is what we should do. We should do a stream where you,
all the advice, the advice that we've gotten. That's a great. I can read your mind.
All the stuff we glossed over in parenting books,
Oh, or just in life. How much advice do people give us that we don't even ask for?
It's because and I say parenting book sarcastically, because people look at you and they say these things like the frosting lady or the cat lady. They say these things to you like You should have just known. You know? But there's a reason why there's a picture of a baby getting folded up into an umbrella stroller with a big circle and a line through it. It's because somebody had to do it for them to be like, we need to put a warning out not to do this. So we're going to make mistakes.
Same reason they tell you not to throw an iron into the bathtub.
Right.
Why was
right.
it even in the bathroom in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody implicitly or specifically told me to not get in the dryer and turn it on. Okay? I needed the warning.
We need to. I bet a lot of people get unsolicited, stupid, obvious advice.
Oh, I'm sure. And I want to hear all of it.
I remember my kid squealed in the back of the car one time out of laughter, right? And the sound doesn't bother. That's like one of mine and Joe's biggest arguments. It's like, he doesn't like the kids getting loud in the car. It doesn't bother me. Like, I've been doing this long enough. I'd rather hear them laughing and playing than into their iPads the whole time, right? And one of our friends squealed, and Joe's friend, I'll call her that because she wasn't mine, said, if my daughter screamed like that, I'd pop her in the mouth. Bitch, get out of my car. I go, well, good thing she ain't your daughter. I go, yeah, there's way too much happiness in here on our way to Disneyland.
Oh, all this laughter is just too much.
We're squealing back there. She was like 4.
There's just too much laughter. Oh,
you know, on the side note, I'll tell you something super terrible that adds to this story that I can't put live that'll make it worse.
Okay.
No, I'm interested. Yeah, and she was like not a good mom in every other, and that's the other ones. It's usually the ones who really aren't even good at their mom or dad job are the ones like this same woman when she came up to me at like Cheese and Wine. I was working. She goes, you don't have her in any sports or anything, like judging me about my stepdaughter. And I'm like, well, no, we live in 2 different cities. And so she does some stuff with her mom and she does some stuff with us, you know. God, you need to get her in something. And then when I tell you how she went down as mom of the year off the air, you'll be like, good for her.
Well, then maybe when we're done, just hit end broadcast and we'll continue the conversation.
Yeah.
Man.
We definitely need to do one of those. Hey, we are giving away tickets to the series Drive-In all week.
Yes. What do we have? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas is Friday night. Saturday is The Sixth Sense and Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Don't do that. I'm going to jinx it up.
Bloody Mary. And then on Sunday
is Friday the 13th Creepy Jason, or is that Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy Krueger, and I can't wait.
And Sunday is a movie I will not be at.
So
it'll be scary. So we're giving those away on the air all week long. And then here on our live stream, we have changed our live streams to 7 and 8. I know we used to do them 7:30 and 8:30. We changed them to 7 and 8. Thank you guys so much for understanding with my kids going back to school. It's the only thing they don't do. You can't do the bus here. I had planned when I moved here for the kids to take the bus. And the bus is only for emergency reasons. And I feel like I'm damning the man if I do it. And my son's already scared to go to school because of the Rona anyway. So I'm not throwing him on the bus with kids. Sure. So thank you so much for understanding that we had to adjust it between 7 and 8 so that I could run him to school and back. I appreciate you all.
Look at my hat. It says Bronx, but I've never been in the Bronx.
Do you have, because I'm assuming this more people think that's ugly than cute. But do you have something that there's no gray area, they either hate it or they love it that you wear? Because we could do that tomorrow on the show, because I just bought this hat and it's upstairs, so I can't go grab it right now. That reminded me of it. That when I have it, either people are 100% attracted to it or people are like, what is on your damn head? And I am obsessed. I saw it and I immediately needed to have it. And the guy who was with me at the time when I purchased it was like, you're not buying that ugly thing, are you? And the guy at the store was like, it is either way. Like people love it or they hate it.
I think it would have to either be one of my King's hats, which is like baby blue and obnoxious red, or my NASCAR shirt, which gets.
I don't think you can wear that one on the live stream.
No, I'm not wearing that on the live stream ever. I'm not wearing that anywhere ever. Yeah, that will never go out in public again.
Yeah. Especially with how big our show has gotten. Like the first time you wore that, you were part-time. You can't do that to me now, bro. I like having you here on the show with us.
Well, because at the time I didn't really understand how insensitive it was. I just thought it was funny because, I was like a single 25-year-old who gives a crap, and so it's in a drawer, and it's probably going to stay there
for life.
Yeah.
All right, we could do that tomorrow. We will see you guys tomorrow at 7 and 8. Bye.
Bye, guys.